Hello, and welcome to one of today's episodes of Saddest Night Out. My name is Roy, and I am the host of this daily podcast, and it's primarily about music and creative culture in London. Quick plug, you can catch the next live edition of Saddest Night Out at Road Trip and the Workshop, Tuesday, 20th of August. Free entry, starts at 7:30. It'll be myself, Izzy, Kinsoul and Rose White. That is Saddest Night Out Live number 3 at Road Trip and the Workshop, Tuesday 20th of August. Free entry. Today's episodes, plural, because once again I was at the King's Head for the Friday night open mic, and I spoke to 3 of the artists that performs there. 2 of them I spoke to before the night got started, and 1 of them I spoke to afterwards. This is the first of those conversations, and it is with one Cairomia. Cairomia is a relatively new performer with our open mics at least, and I was really grateful to catch this chat with her at the beginning of her journey. She let me know afterwards that this is the first time she's ever really been interviewed for her music. So hopefully, wherever her career might take her, we can all say this was where she first spoke to the public, and I was there for it. You might hear me say this a couple of times on today's episodes. You might also notice a bit of a theme in how I talk to these artists, because it is the first time they've been interviewed, and these are somewhat quick introductions. So we're just trying to touch on all the bases that give us a good picture of who they are and where they're coming from. So first up today, this is me talking to Cairomia, and she herself describes her music as being quite laid back, quite chilled. That's what she gravitates towards. And she comes across as a slightly, well, maybe a little bit reserved, likes to keep herself to herself, and her music sounds quite intimate as well. But you can tell within her there is an imagination, a creativity that is firing on all cylinders. And on this chat, she gives us a little glimpse into what's going on behind closed doors. This is me talking to Cairomia, and I'll catch up with you a bit more afterwards. Enjoy. We are outside the King's Head in what has become my usual interview spot now. It's just before we start tonight's open mic, and I'm here with one of tonight's performers and today's first guest. Can you please introduce yourself to the listeners?
Hi, I'm Cairomia. I'm 20 and I'm a singer-songwriter from West London.
So when did you first come to London?
I grew up here, so always been in London. Really.
Always West?
Yeah.
And when did music first enter the picture for you?
My family is quite a creative family, so music and art has always been a part of my life. I've been writing since I was younger, just after watching like High School Musical and stuff. And
a classic, an absolute classic.
Exactly. And being inspired, and then I had a keyboard in my room. I couldn't play, but I used to try and make songs out of that. Then I got a guitar when I was 15, and I properly started taking it a bit more seriously. But I'd say in the past 2 years, I've only gotten into it as knowing that I want to do it as a career, I'd say.
So always an interest, but only in the past 2 years.
It stopped being a hobby and went more
something serious. So does anyone else in the family play music then?
My cousin is actually a musician like me. She's done a lot of gigs and open mics. She's what got me into this whole thing. And my uncle, he's a recording artist. So and my dad's a DJ. So,
So it's definitely in the family.
Yeah.
So when you went from hobby to something serious, what was the first thing you did? Was it record something, go out and perform something? What came first?
So I would use GarageBand on my phone, and I tried to recreate the idea of a loop pedal, and I'd use my vocals to like create a beat. So I'd record instrumentals mainly, and then once I'd have that, I'd just start freestyling and record myself freestyling over that. And it developed into a song, and I thought, oh, this is quite good. So I kept going.
So you were very much a one-person band?
Yeah.
Filling out all the instrumentals by yourself?
I pretty much make everything myself. The beat, the instrumental, the vocals, the writing. I kind of like that it all comes from me, because I can't stray away from... Like, if it doesn't feel like me, I can take that bit out and add it. And it's all credit to me, so...
Yeah, it feels like a very singular vision that you're following.
Yeah.
But is there anyone that you trust to say, hey, I've made this thing, what do you think? Like your first step?
Definitely. Like I'm aware that when making things you have to consider an outside point of view kind of thing, so I talk to my dad about it a lot. My close friends, they have a similar kind of music taste as me, so I get their influence and they give me good constructive criticism rather than just, this is good. Yeah,
because there's always that when you show it to friends, just because they're friends, they might be like, oh yeah, it's great, but you need someone to actually give you advice. So you said you have similar musical taste to your friends. What is that musical taste?
I'd say I'm very alternative, but in the largest sense of the word. So I like alternative rap, I like alternative rock, I like indie, just anything that sounds different and personal and raw, but I like chill, slow, lo-fi vibes.
Laid back.
Yeah.
That seems like a really popular thing. I think you're on the right track with what's hot right now. So we talked about the interest in music and a little bit about the process. So what about getting yourself out there? What have you done so far, and what do you have coming up in the near future?
Well, I'm actually quite a shy person, so only in the past year I've been trying to put myself out of my comfort zone, and even posting to SoundCloud has been a big step for me, so it's been a lot of experimental work and putting that out. When I do that, I'll post on Instagram, do polls on my story just to get feedback from other people. But I want to start attending more networking events, meeting new people. I have a few friends who are West London artists as well, so that can help me. Networking is the key, I guess.
Have you ever done any studies towards music or anything like that? Ever been to a music college or anything?
No. I have considered it. Notting Hill Arts School. I went to an event there the other day and I looked at some of their courses, but I'm not sure. I like teaching myself. I know that there's still a lot to learn in school, but I'm not too sure about that yet.
Yeah, I mean, you've got plenty of time, so you can start. And it sounds like you've got some good resources around you anyway, so there's a lot of places where you can learn. Yeah. Are there any of your friends that you want to shout out who are also making music?
Yes, I have a friend called Mo Alka. He makes instrumentals. We do a few collabs and stuff. He's upcoming. I feel like there's a lot of talent in London that's just buried and no one really pays attention to, so there's that. There's Asia Marie, she's really good. These people are all on SoundCloud, so just check them out.
How can we find you on SoundCloud and Instagram, etc.?
My Instagram is Cairomia, like the capital city of Egypt, with MIA at the end, and my SoundCloud is the same but with 3 I's in the Mia.
Okay, and are there any releases that you've just put out or anything that's coming out in the near future?
So I have just released a few songs, just a couple tracks that are introducing the new wave of my music. I felt like a lot of the stuff was very experimental, as I said, but now I'm starting to go into my style, my thing. So I've put out 2 recent tracks called Note to Self and The Motive. Very different styles from what I'm used to. But hopefully my EP will come out in the autumn, and it's going to be full of all instrumentals made by me and very specific to my sound. I'm looking forward to it.
As are we. Cairomia, thank you very much for your time and good luck with your performance tonight.
Thank you.
And that was that. Thank you very much, Cairomia, for your time, and it was a fantastic performance later that evening. I can really sympathize with performers who are shy in their personal lives, kind of keep themselves to themselves, but recognize that there is a need to engage the extrovert within, if there is an extrovert within, so that you can get yourself out there and let people know what it is you are doing. And I told her this conversation we're having, it's very casual, it's just finding out who you are, but it can help ease you into the world of being interviewed or just having to describe what it is you do to people who aren't familiar with you. And I think she did fantastically. I really enjoyed this conversation, and it sounds like she's put a lot of thought into what it is that she does, and she's got some good people around her to help her arrive at the best expression of her vision. And yes, you can find her online, Cairomia as one word on Instagram, and Cairomia but with 3 I's in the Mia, all as one word on SoundCloud. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you again, Cairo, for your time. I will catch you on the next episode. Take care.